Alright, so today I'm going to be upgrading the mirrors on this E36. Here are the old shitty ones that came with 325s, 323s, and 328s. But as you can see, I'm going to change it over to the M3 mirrors. Look a lot better from the front and from the back. They just look great, really cheap mod, really easy to do. Really changes the look of these cars. So they're a little bit more complicated than I was expecting. Not terrible though. You can knock this out in probably 10-15 minutes. But the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take off this plastic piece. So to take off this plastic piece, you're gonna wanna put a little screwdriver in back there, and you're just gonna wanna pry it. It doesn't need a ton of force, but just enough. And then it'll just slide right up like that. As you can see, it's got these channels. So this clip goes into that channel and then it slides down. So what you're gonna wanna do is pull back on it to release it. So once you get that little plastic black trim piece off, you're gonna wanna release these 3 10mm bolts. As you can see, there's one right up top here, and then 2 of them down there. They're kind of hidden behind this clip, but they're right there. So once you release that, you're gonna take this little plastic grommet out, and I'll show you that in a second. All right, so once you get those 3 bolts out, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get this rubber grommet out. Now, be careful, all you have to do is push on it and it will fall out. I dropped my other mirror, so make sure you hold on to that connector and don't let it fall. And then you basically just reverse the process afterwards. All right, so once you get this all buttoned up, I got all 3 of these bolts back on. Thing to keep in mind, I didn't show it on camera, but there is a seal that is between the rim of the mirror and the actual door itself. The seal's made of rubber. It gets disgusting after years. Obviously, these mirrors are used. So you're gonna wanna clean that seal up, make sure it doesn't leak, doesn't get water inside your door, because that's not good. Another thing to mention, that little clip, if you can see that tiny little square there, you're gonna wanna pull up on that lip and it should just slide out like that. And lastly, these bolts, do not torque them down like a silverback gorilla. Just make sure they're tight, a little snug. I'd say probably no more than 15 foot-pounds. But yeah, just get them till they're snug. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna put this connector behind this clip and then just push it right back in. So I'm gonna do that right now. Put the connector behind that little clip right there. And what you're gonna wanna do is, if you remember, these slot in like that, so you're gonna push it in the slot and then pull it down to lock it in. And then lastly, you're just gonna wanna push it right back in on that top point. So, all right, so now everything's all buttoned up, looking fresh, and as you can see, mirror looks a lot better. I'm gonna have to replace that glass inside there, but mirror itself, BMW stock M3 mirrors, really improves the look of the car. I wish I could show this during daylight. Not that there's a whole lot to show. This car's kind of shit right now. I still got to give it a paint job. But yeah, sorry if this video was really shaky. It's kind of hard to do all this by myself with one hand. But really, this shouldn't take more than, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes to do both sides. It's a really simple job. There are a few parts that are kind of difficult just because you can't see behind that little plastic trim piece. So if you found this helpful, awesome.